yeah. Covers USA, yeah.
This is Car Bros Podcast, episode 81.
The big 8-1.
The big 8-1. Mm-hmm. Big 8-1. 81 episodes, people. Mm-hmm. That is
a milestone.
81.
What are we coming up on, 3 years?
Yeah, I think. 20-some.
Back in 20-something. 20-something teen.
Yeah, the 20 teens. Uh-huh. Pre-pandemic life is a blur.
Mm-hmm. Different house.
It's a different everything. Different people. Okay. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. We have released a video. So we had this idea for a video, like I want to say like
more than just a video. It was like, well, like
series.
We had an idea
potentially
for
yeah,
just like a whole
new
like,
direction
thing, yeah, a whole thing.
And the idea is still fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's still amazing.
There's nothing wrong with it.
But we've had this idea for like 4 years, maybe.
Something like that.
Like it's been a while, and we finally made a prototype of it. Kind of. We made like
sadly that's all it can be.
We made like an
attempt, at
attempt. Yeah, but it's such a creative art form that it breaks many rules of what is legal. It's too creative, possibly for YouTube. Mm-hmm. And so I tried to upload this thing to YouTube, and it was copyright stricken
multiple times,
4 different ways, of varying amounts of severity, with the highest severity being you can't even show this.
Yes.
Like some of them, it's like you can't monetize it.
Yeah.
Like Final Race is we can upload it and there's volume, but they do run ads and all of the ad revenue goes to Sony or whoever, which apparently is like close to $100,000 I've heard, because that video has like 35 million views. So we made $0 on that, but we were able to put it online. Where it was like you can't even
this is not even going out there.
It was like you can't even show it to anybody. And so it lives on Patreon.
It is on YouTube, but you just cannot see it on YouTube. It's
not
unlisted.
on YouTube.
Yes.
It's not on
You can
YouTube.
access it through our exclusive direct link.
No.
Wait, you
can't even do that.
Oh, you uploaded it onto...
It's
you wouldn't even let you...
It's off of Google Drive.
It's
really?
on
I didn't know.
Google
I didn't know that.
You have to view it on Google Drive.
Fuck, I didn't.
I don't think you can't upload videos to Patreon, right? You just can only link stuff. Yeah. You just link stuff.
I would have done that. That would have been fine.
Right.
No, we can't even.
I thought it was simply the unlisted link is posted on Patreon.
It was so forbidden. Damn. It can't even. YouTube got one whiff of that, and the police were dispatched. So it's awesome. It's not like AAA finished,
right?
But it's finished enough to be shown to people. This is what we would call like a first or second draft.
And had this actually been able to be shown in some way, we would have kept.
Yeah,
we may still at some point, depending.
Sure, but anyways, this is like that. We finished it enough to show it to you.
Yes.
You get like this is releasable, but it never will be, and so it lives on Patreon. So if you want to jump in there for as little as I think $3, you can view this thing and then dip. We won't be offended, but it's on there and it's pretty great. That's all I'll say about that. I think it's worth $3.
Oh
yeah, for sure.
I feel like it's worth $3, so you won't be disappointed.
Especially when you can just discover the potential that.
Yeah, you can see why we're so disappointed that it will never possibly 99%.
Unless we find some way to get a ton of money in.
Yeah, I was going to say, unless we win the lottery or something.
Yeah.
But we've pretty much convinced ourselves that it is awesome. So go check it out. Patreon. We also, if you will notice, recorded and released first of its kind, more
an addendum,
behind the music, basically
self-reflection,
a reflection episode, State of the Bros.
That's a good title. We'll call it that.
Yeah, episode. So that's on YouTube. But as we said early on in that's not a podcast. It's just sort of us working some shit out. But
that's a little physical,
little therapy session.
Yeah, a little sesh. So that's there too.
It's just us ruminating on about the future and the present.
Yeah. So that's on there.
If you're interested in the higher level stuff, you can check it out.
Yeah, if you're into, I don't know, if you're a super fan, or not. Who knows? Anyways, that's there too, but that's not an official podcast. So this is the official podcast. Okay, so I want to touch on John's STI blew up.
Yeah, if you remember the last episode, we blew.
It like soft blew up.
And it's now back on the road, good as new.
Yeah, running strong.
I want to just get an update.
I have not started it since we filmed. Since we filmed me starting it.
Update complete.
Yeah. Look, I've been really busy. Went to Disneyland twice. Disneyland's back.
Disneyland is back, people.
So
yeah. Well, anyways, he still has. Still
the goal
wounded.
is by the end of the year to get back on the road.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but at least by the end of the year. Yeah, because I mean, like, I'm not going to do any fucking track days when it's 110 degrees in the summer.
Have you thought more or confirmed what your plans for that rebuild are?
I mean, it's just going to be forged internals.
So it will feel exactly the same. It will just be
More
ideally
robust.
bulletproof setup.
I mean, I'm going to upgrade some small stuff like the turbo inlet, like since that's a pain in the ass to upgrade because you have to take off the
so like while you're
intake
in there,
manifold. And so like while it's off, I'll just upgrade that because that's a pretty common like restriction point.
You're not going to do like cams.
No cams. Just pistons.
I'd go cams.
Bearings.
I'd do cams. I'd do some like unable to idle below 1500 RPM. Yeah.
No, but I'll like upgrade I mean, obviously I'll put in the bigger injectors. I'll upgrade the fuel rails.
Really?
I'll like put in all the E85 conversion stuff. I still have to find someone to tune it for E85.
How big are the injectors you have?
1050.
And how big is stock?
I want to say like 600.
So it might not run the same.
You needed a tune. You could either do like an off the shelf like tune to like just get it so it's
OTS.
As
I call it.
To get it drivable, but like if you upgrade injectors, you definitely need.
And that's like a different. Okay, interesting.
I mean,
totally, but like that requires a little bit of modding, a little bit of something.
Well, I mean, it already requires a tune.
I guess
everything I already have
tune.
on. Yeah, because I mean,
change the tune,
like headers, downpipe.
Interesting.
Intake.
So yeah, it needs like a professional.
It'll need a professional tune to
Someone
like
needs to sit down
optimize
and
it.
work
It's too
through it.
custom.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it should be like once it's all put back together, it should be a different beast. I'm hoping.
Because from where we're sitting, it's real fun to watch you spend money on this.
Yeah, exactly.
We really enjoy.
Can I just mention that the car that I took to the track day last time, I just drove it over here right now.
Yeah, it's sitting out there right now.
AC
Yeah,
running.
he's
Yeah.
cooling me down.
Still running good. Okay, noted on both accounts. All right. Opening topic.
Speaking of
Bit
my
of a
car,
bit of a heavy hitter. Ford is back, people.
it is. Ford is truly.
I think we should disclose that Garrett is a Ford shareholder.
Yeah, I have often thought if you want to feel
That just needs to be fully transparent.
if you want to feel positive about a company, buy a couple shares of their stock.
F. You find it under F.
And immediately you will start liking them more once you've got a little skin in the game. But Ford was pretty good like 2011, I felt.
Yeah.
I remember
2011 to 2015.
Yeah, I remember thinking Ford is back.
Once they bounce back from that little hiccup in 07, 08.
Well, serious. I mean, like I followed them ish around then because they got this CEO from Boeing, Alan Mulally, who like just did this like historic performance, turning them around. It was like badass. And there's a really good book about that called American Icon.
What did they did they just like offload a bunch of like shitty brands that they owned?
Well, his big thing was just internally, any company that's big internally, you run the risk of just having fucked communication and just infighting.
You mean that's not normal?
Some companies,
even at small company levels, that's
sure,
possible.
but like big companies, it's just like it's gross.
much
You know,
worse,
it can get gross. And Ford's like 100 years old.
Right.
You know, it's like who knows?
And like the
layers of
European
it.
side is like Ford is basically like a European company. Like it's not, but they have
it's like a
a
separate,
European
it's
right.
like
Like
this.
they're big enough to have their own like BMW.
it's like Sony. Like Sony has like a Sony of America.
Yeah.
It's just as big, if not bigger, than Sony Japan.
It's a global just monolith. And so when you have anything like that, it can get real inefficient.
Right.
And he came in and just straightened a lot of it out. He really did a phenomenal job of just
laid off a lot of people.
I don't even know if it was that. I mean, sure, but it was just like
they're walking papers.
Yeah,
trimming the fat.
He got a little haircut. That's what they got, a little 10% haircut.
A little bit off the top.
Yeah, a little bit off the top. No, he came in and his big thing was like he got everyone to communicate better.
Yeah,
and so
he integrated.
He really turned that company
like that,
around. Yeah, and then I heard when he left, I think the next one was, I want to say it was Mark Fields, I think, who was kind of like, I can't remember who, but it was like.
What about Jim Hackett?
Jim Hackett was next.
That was after. That was who he gave the award.
There might have even been someone else.
Man, they fucking just go, the turnaround is pretty quick.
Yeah, CEO is a tough job, especially at a company like that. But the 09 guy was the one. I mean, and like he really did a great job. And then he left, and then there's either been, I want to say there might have even been
another guy.
Yeah, but maybe not. And then recently, as of like I think December or something, 2020 October, Chris Farley's brother.
No, it's his cousin.
It's his cousin. Bro.
For a second, I thought I remember hearing
the resemblance is pretty.
No, he definitely looks like him. So it's what, Jim Farley,
Jim Farley
or something. Who just seems like a good guy.
James? Does he go by, is his name James?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's his real name.
I don't follow
Goes by
him.
Jim.
He's literally Chris Farley from SNL's cousin.
Yeah. So he seems like.
Can you imagine?
A couple of different life paths.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like their whatever grandparents. Like one of your kids was like a comedian that like OD, like a super funny comedian, and the other one is a CEO of fucking Ford.
Pretty wild.
Yeah. Anyways, that's a lot of range.
So it seems so far. I mean, the thing is, we need to.
I don't know how much is him specifically, but just
we need to address that anything that is happening right now
has been going on for a while.
Is because of the previous guy. It's
been brewing.
Was his name Jim Hackett? James Hackett? Yeah. Jim Hackett? I can't remember, but he was a Steelcase executive or something, that like pretty badass, but very different company. And he came in and made a lot of changes and just never really like caught on. People never loved him, but I don't know if that's fair or not, because now Ford is sort of like killing it, and that must have been all like mostly him.
Yeah,
because these product life cycles.
Don't worry, I'm sure he owns a fair amount of shares.
But the cool thing is, like, but the cool thing is, like, Jim Farley is like actually like literally an enthusiast. Like
he is an enthusiast.
He's a car guy.
Yeah, he races a vintage Cobra,
and he is a better. Even if he hasn't done anything, he's a better face to launch what is happening now. Like he's getting too much credit, but him standing up on stage versus Jim Hackett. This other guy who like people didn't love. And so they had this dip, but now like,
well, there was that time like a couple years ago and they're like, we're not going to make cars anymore.
Yeah. And they're not, but everyone was like, what's going on? Right. He was making some big changes.
That's a bad move.
Yeah. It was like, he was making some big changes and now they're starting to pay off, and Chris Farley is raking in the, but whatever, for whatever reason, it feels like they're on a good path, because the big one is they just announced and dropped a fully electric truck, which is arguably the first electric real truck that has been
Many
announced.
Have been talked about.
Yeah, I mean the Cybertruck almost can't be considered a truck.
Is it the Lumen? What's the truck? What was that other truck?
Rivian?
Yeah.
That's a different company.
Yeah, I know. But that was an all-electric truck.
It is, but I don't know that they have a launch date. Like, it's around.
It feels like it keeps getting pushed back.
Yeah, those are, I mean, and so is the F-150. They haven't made one yet.
Yeah. Sure.
But it's like, they probably will.
It's Ford.
And so, I don't know if it'll come out before the Cybertruck, but the Cybertruck, people were basically like, oh shit, this could be it. And whatever it is, it's not what people thought it was going to be. And the F-150 is that thing.
Yeah.
The F-150 is what people thought the Cybertruck would be. It's not to say one would be more successful than the other. It's just they're basically the first to like, here's an EV truck. Yeah. And it's what people,
it's a stereotypical truck.
It's a truck.
It's like the F-150 is an electric vehicle for people that like trucks, and the Cybertruck is like a truck for people that like Elon Musk.
I don't even I struggle to even call it a truck. I mean, whatever it is. And, it might be crazy popular, but it's like, what trucks have been, here is the EV one.
Yes.
And they're sort of the first to do it. Ford invested a lot in Rivian. And so I don't know the behind the scenes, but my guess is this truck is
they're sharing some technology.
I don't know, but like it feels like it's not. Just because it looks so fucking similar to the regular.
I strongly doubt that.
I mean, I'm sure they borrowed some, but I don't know.
There's got to be some R&D that
I'm sure they did.
I think they basically
but like if you
catapulted themselves forward on like powertrain, battery, everything that makes it an EV
to fit it in there.
They sort of like pasted F-150. That I'm just guessing. I haven't looked into it, but they kind of came out of nowhere with this thing, and they picked. I mean, Rivian is like they haven't really released a product yet, but they appear to be killing it.
They have a lead
because Amazon and Ford invested in them, and so like they obviously walk the walk behind the scene enough to get these serious companies to invest.
Well, I doubt you guys have watched. I mean, a couple months ago on the cast, I mentioned.
I remember
you and McGregor show like Long Way Up that they ride 2 electric Harley Davidsons, but the crew drives around in 2 Rivians, and like that was like a pretty big. Because those were like the first 2 prototypes that they actually built.
Oh, wow.
Like the actual, like, they're all prototypes and janky interiors, but they fucking did the trip and it was pretty impressive to see.
Yeah, I don't know how much it is. But anyways, this is, all I'm trying to say is it's not fair to say anyone has beat anyone else to the market. It's just fair to say this is what people imagined a truck EV looking like. And Ford just dropped it. And as far as it is on paper, as far as it looks on paper, it's a success. It's like, cool. Oh,
yeah, it caters to the typical truck buyer.
And rightly so. I mean, it's like trucks are all about they're all about all the things that EVs could potentially be good at.
Yeah.
And no one gives a shit about engine noise. It's like it's a tool. And so that's pretty good. Anytime Ford or GM or Dodge or any of those do well, kind of makes you feel good because it's an American company. Just like you want to see them not producing shit. And so that was cool. On the back of them releasing, or at least like previewing the Bronco, which is like one of the most exciting.
It seems like one of the most popular. Like, cool, like if you wanted one right now, like who fucking knows how long it would take to actually get one.
The regular Bronco or the Sport?
The real one. The Sport's cool too, but like I mean, that's got to be one of the most anticipated non-sports car, or even sport. I mean, just vehicles.
Right.
So they had the Bronco hype running,
and it's still running,
and it's not yet released. And then they sort of just were like electric F-150, and people were like, yeah, okay. And then they just like came out with it, which is kind of why I'm thinking like there's got to be something else going on, because if it was truly like ground up just them, I feel like GM would have. It'd be like at the same time, or at least, or they must have.
And then like a few days ago, they just came out with that Maverick pickup, which is not an electric, but it's like a $20,000 truck.
So it's a Bronco Sport. I'm just guessing.
Sort of. It's similar.
Is it body on frame?
No.
So it's like whatever it is.
It's like a pickup Escape.
It's a tiny truck, which annoying people have been arguing that we don't have enough of them, and so we'll see how it does. But
it seems cheap enough where it could be viable. Like it's not much more than like Focus was.
Whatever it is,
it's like a lifted El Camino.
Kind of, yeah.
I'm probably not in the market for any of these. Maybe the Bronco if I just had like tons of money or something. But all of them, I see the appeal. You know, there's something there where it's like I would pay money for these, which is usually like a good indicator. And so that's pretty sweet. You know, that's cool to have. Like,
I can't really think of another company that's had like 3 or 4
bangers,
like cars that people are just like effectively like lining up to get at the same time.
Yeah, right. I'm curious to see. The thing that could do that is Toyota dropping the like Tundra, 4Runner, Land Cruiser,
at the same time.
All the shit that's been around since like the turn of the century stuff. But yeah, I mean, truly, it's like one vehicle. The Bronco is like Ford's back,
right?
You know, and now that they have like 2 more, it's pretty sweet. It's pretty promising. So, it's also interesting how like they just do not give a shit about kind of robbing the monikers.
What do you mean?
The like Mustang. It's a Mustang.
Oh, I forgot about the Mach-E.
Yeah, the Mach-E. Which you know, I will say the Mach-E for an EV is probably like front of the pack. If we're looking at a non-Tesla market, like I've been seeing them around.
Yeah.
you know, where like I never see an e-tron or like anything else I see. It's the ones that are just so cheap that people got them because they were cheap.
Like the Fiat E.
Yeah, you know, it's like, oh, okay, sure. Like you bought that because of the spreadsheet. Where I've actually seen a couple Mach-E's and they look good. Like my sort of thermometer for a car's hotness is if you see it from like 500 feet away, you know, and you're like, ooh,
yeah, what's that?
Yeah, where it's just the sort of like
shape
when you can just start to make out what it is, and the Mach-E kind of passes that test. So I'm like, ooh, cool. So yeah, 4 bangers. Yeah, so cool. Good job, Chris.
Did you see
Jim?
I mean, Jim.
Jim, yeah.
Like what Nissan announced that they were going to reveal the Z in a couple months, right? Did you see that?
Like in August.
August, yeah.
Like the production version.
Yeah, the production version with price and specs.
I still think that thing could. I mean, it's not going to blow us away, but like, I think it could be not bad.
A good, good step in the right direction for Nissan.
I think it'll be better than the 3.
I have no idea how much money that thing is going to be. That's the one thing. Like no one's really.
Sure.
Like, it's like, is this going to be like a $30,000
well,
car? Or is this thing going to be like 60?
Yeah.
I would so much rather it be too expensive, but good. Yeah, I would rather it not sell.
It can't be that good though. That's the thing. Well, I'd rather have it just be fucking cheap.
I just don't think they can make a good cheap car. That's not easy.
But like the Supra is fine. Like it's not going to be better than the Supra.
No, I don't think it will be better than the Supra. I really like the Supra. I've been liking it more. I still would not buy it without a stick.
Yeah.
But I'm really more and more liking that car because that motor is just a monster. People I think underestimate that motor. And that body just looks good. I wish it was a little bigger, but like it looks good. I think it looks good. The front's a little weird, but I don't know. I think it looks good. It just needs a stick.
I don't think I would like the iDrive. Like the interior, like how the interior is just very BMW and it has iDrive, you know, the whole whatever.
And a 2-door car or a 2-seat car just kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't hate it. Where the Z, I don't know. We'll see. But I feel like if it's cheap, it's going to suck. Because they just don't make good cheap cars. Like but
they don't make any good expensive cars either.
Yeah, but it has more like the GT.
At least you can excuse it if it's cheap.
You're like, well, it's bargain.
Is the new Pathfinder any good?
I mean, I'm sure it's better than what it replaced.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's moderately better. Yeah,
I mean, Nissan does seem to be trying.
Yeah, I think they're improving.
I mean, like the new, what is it? Not the Pathfinder. What's the pickup?
Oh, the Frontier. Yeah, the new Frontier.
That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, their styling is definitely improved.
Yeah, their new styling is solid.
Are they dropping that corporate front end that was for the past 10 years?
Whatever it is, they've upgraded the front end.
Because the freaking I hated that styling.
Yeah, I think they've bounced off bottom. I think
they're taking a page from the Hyundai and Kia.
I think they're pulling that stick up. So I mean, that's fine. I think everyone's kind of making some moves. Yeah, Ford specifically. Now the spotlight's on Toyota. We'll see. But yeah. Anyways, what's up, Ford? GM is just sort of like fading.
I'm really not. It's like, do they have like a great product besides the C8?
I don't know. I
guess their pickups are doing all right.
Yeah, I'm sure they sell fine, but it's like nothing about GM I know about or am excited about.
Well, there's those new like Cadillac like Blackwing things.
That's not fair.
Yeah,
that's not a great product. That's just cool because they threw enough power at
it. No, I mean it's a cool. It's a very niche.
But aren't they like all sold out and everything? It's just like
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The thing that makes a good car like that, when it's like the 600 horsepower version's like sick, is the like entry level version good. And I don't know enough about them to say.
I think it's decent. I don't really hear anyone talking about it. But.
Once they drop the lyric, then
so that Hummer thing like seems kind of lame to me.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. I forgot about that. That all electric Hummer.
It can crab walk.
It's like it's neat, but it seems
that's
like
fine.
It seems like a weird flex into like Hummer.
Yeah, it's just like yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of like people didn't think you could sell a EV mainstream, and they were right. And so Hummer went in the well, extreme, then let's do a niche.
Let's do a very macho
thing. Yeah. And then at the same time, Ford did the F-150.
Well, and there's, I mean, I know GM is like teased like a Silverado, which presumably would be their version of the lightning.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Although I don't know when.
At the end of the day, just anything that makes EVs not be lame.
Pathetic.
Yeah, anything that actually like is such a breath of fresh air to see one where it's like, oh, I think I'd buy, like I'd drive that and not be pissed off. That's pretty sweet. So one thing I will say that is interesting about that, I watched the Ford presentation, and for the most part, it was like, this is pretty weak. Like, as bad as Teslas are, they're at least like entertaining, even.
Oh, we met ATV.
Yeah, even if it's because there's, it's just this like train wreck where this is so corporate, and it's like, I'd like to thank our union leaders. It's like, yeah, I'm sure you love the union. But one thing I did like that they kind of went for is you can power your house.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
With it. Where Tesla has a product that does that, the Powerwall.
Yeah.
And so they kind of can't do that.
They'd be cannibalizing their
they sort of have like backed themselves into a corner. So I thought that was pretty interesting that Ford was like, we don't give a shit. It's like,
we don't make walls.
Yeah, it's like, we're not in that business. So I thought that was pretty funny. That was like the only thing where I was like, oh, like shots fired a little bit, like it was pretty funny. Okay. Anyways, moving on. So
from time to time, like people like will send, knowing our experiences with the Fieri, they will like notify us of like other shitty
replicas.
Yeah, I feel like our fan base is pretty honed.
Yeah,
we get some pretty killer scoops. Like
this one is. What was the guy's name that sent it? I know it's on the
Ben Carlson.
What's up, Ben?
So like a week or two ago, he sent like a link to a Facebook Marketplace ad for this car.
Ben was on it. Ben was combing
and
the internet.
We get a lot of these, and most of them are pretty funny, but this one is like it's not the ugliest thing. Well, it is. It's very ugly.
It's pretty.
I mean, it's respectable from the outside.
I feel like this. A lot of people would.
Yeah, since the average person,
dude, people thought the Fieri.
That's true.
This would fool. I think this would fool 90% of people.
Yeah.
More in Monterey, people were thinking that it's like
that's true. Yeah.
Over half of them.
I guess
I know.
Overestimated.
You gotta recalibrate your senses.
But anyways, like I'll just say this is a very ambitious.
Yeah.
It's
project.
Ambitious.
Try to start with the description.
Whatever you want, Captain.
All right, so I won't read it verbatim, but it's a 2019 Lamborghini Aventador replica.
How would you call out the year?
I'm guessing that's the year it's trying to go after, the styling.
It was well known as the peak.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
And what now? The weird thing is the base car is not what you would think.
Think of a normal replica.
Not a Fieri.
Yeah, no, it's a 2005 GTO.
So yeah, front engine, rear wheel drive car,
and it's trying to be a what?
A Lambo,
Lamborghini Aventador.
Damn, the Aventador is sweet. Okay, so that's pretty bold in itself.
Yes,
front engine non-sports car. So GTO. What year GTO? Like
05.
Yeah.
Like okay.
So it has the original engine is in place.
Okay.
It has Gallardo style doors, not up. So they open normally. Like they open like this.
Wait.
Not like this.
Gallardo style?
That's what he says.
As in
normal.
Every car.
As in every car, yeah.
As in GTO style.
What was that scene in Silicon Valley? When he's like, not like this, like this.
Yeah, the billionaire doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's. I did not check to see if the ad was still
Gallardo.
Well, that's what he says, bro.
I just can't. Gallardo style.
This car uses Gallardo style doors that open out, not up.
Okay.
He's really selling it, all right?
Gallardo style. I did not modify the doors. Is what he meant to say.
I think to me the funniest part might be it has a fake in, like if you thought our fake engine thing was bad, was just a cover that went over. This thing has like an actual fake engine
cover that
because it's in the
nothing.
back.
It's not even a cover. It's like
it's a front engine car, but with a rear engine compartment
that looks like
housing
a fake engine,
a plastic engine.
Yeah, it's got like PVC tubes and like an engine cover.
So if you're audio only, this thing it looks like. like it's way higher quality than the
for
Fiat.
sure.
Oh, yeah,
It's
for sure
like,
it is.
it's like kind of a finished. It's not something where it's like, hold on, you got to know that the badge is not original. You know, it's not a real looking Aventador, but it's, you know,
he tried hard.
If someone didn't know, they would be.
And he did like the interior, like he it has like a semi-custom like center console.
This is a finished project, which just beyond what it is. Hats off to anyone who can finish a project to this level.
True.
So give him that.
And he's asking $45,000. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's still on there or not.
Okay, that's a little rich.
It says, I'm listing it at my lowest price, $45,000 firm. I will not take less than $45,000.
Do not negotiate. Stop sending me requests for $10,000.
If you showed up with $44,000 cash,
nope,
you'd be fucking walking.
You'd be
home.
walking. You'd be calling an Uber.
But I think my personal favorite part of the car is all the stuff. If you look at the rear view, if you just look at the license plate frame, that kind of just says it all. It just says Lamborghini Aventador.
He lets you know.
Which I just really like when you go through all the trouble of like reforming an entire car, and then you.
By the way,
if
it's a Lamborghini.
If you're wondering
what car it is, it's on the license.
Just look at my
frame.
cheaply made,
just like a real Lamborghini. I think Gallardo Doors does it for me. That's like.
Does that have Gallardo doors?
That's just too much.
I'm just gonna say that my car has.
Yeah, you know what? My Lexus also has Gallardo style.
That's true.
That's crazy. All three of us have cars with Gallardo
I can't
style
imagine.
doors.
I want to know.
Are people really that dumb? To
Look at the interior photo. I'm assuming it's an Yeah, it is an automatic because there's only two pedals. But like he replaced the shifter with like I don't know if the 05 GTO has like an electronic shifter.
It's like
it's just like a regular.
Well, he replaced it with like six buttons.
Some buttons.
Yeah. Like, that's how you like. That's got to be a process.
This guy went for it.
Yeah.
Okay. $45,000 is his base. I love it when people. It's like, look, when you're selling a car for more than $2,500, don't put firm.
Yeah.
Just admit that like the price is going to be negotiable, and even if you end at your asking price. Like anybody who's like, it's $50,000 firm.
Yeah.
It's not fucking firm.
You're not fucking CarMax over here.
Yeah. Unless it's like, unless it's like $1,200. Like, look, the price is $1,200. I'm not taking less. Yeah. Anyways, pretty sweet.
Hats off to, Thanks, Ben, for saying
Thanks, Ben. Good one. Your instincts were correct about what we would like to see.
To make fun of.
Ben knows what tickles our fancy. It's shit like this. Okay. Semi-related, but not, is I was thinking about C4s, the Corvette. I can't remember why.
I sent a picture.
Yeah, Garrett sent a photo of a clean one.
Oh, is that
clean
what it was?
example?
Okay.
I'll find it.
Sure. If he can't find that exact one, here's a clean C4. So I've seen a couple like driving around. Every once in a while, you see one driving around. And the C4 is just like, I'm just going to play it straight. Not as good as the C5 in basically every way. Even if the C5 can be argued to be better than a C6 if you're into that styling. You like pop-up headlights or whatever. Yeah. But the C4 is just sort of like the kind of like unfortunate stepchild.
You have to really like the 80s.
Yeah. And so every time I see a clean C4 driving and it's like clean, it's like he's armor rolled the wheels, and he's like cruising, T-tops off. Part of me is always just like, yeah, man. Like, go you. Yeah. It's like good for you.
He's living the dream.
Because it's pure like passion at that point. And money probably is part of it. But there's just something so pure about a C4 owner, It's
so
like
innocent.
Yeah, it's just so innocent, and I'm always like supportive. I'll like go out of my way to give him a thumbs up,
make his day.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, man, great car, good job. Where when I see like a C5 Z06, I'm like, cool, like but I don't need to like I don't feel the need to support him.
You don't need to recognize his achievement.
Yeah, it's like when the like kid at the end of the race, the one who's just getting like lapped, and everyone's like,
hey, good job, Jimmy.
Everyone's like standing ovation as he crosses the line. It's like I feel the need a little bit. to be like, good job, man. That's a cool car. You got a cool ride.
Good.
People are looking. It's having the effect you want. So yeah, C4s. What up? So another reason why I bring that up is I am on the verge here of owning 2 sort of collectible cars.
He's been talking about this for a while.
Yeah, I've been angling.
He hasn't pulled the trigger yet.
No, because
he's just waiting for the values to keep going up.
Yeah, well, the car that I have now, I sort of like bought to drive for work.
The Lexus.
Yeah, the Lexus. And I want to make a little bit more money with it, like being paid to drive it kind of thing before. And I just that's a car that I got like burned on.
Got smoked.
Yeah. And so like if I can make a little bit more money back before I sell it.
You'll feel less humiliated.
Yeah, before I lock in those losses. But it's a good time to sell. Yeah, it's a good time to sell a car, really. I feel like I can probably get like 20 grand for that thing. And I think I have like 24 in it.
Now's the time.
And so now's the time.
Cut and run.
The other thing is I only have 2 garage spaces and I don't want to park the Lexus outside because it's as burned as I got. It's still pretty nice and I don't really want it to bake in the sun. So I want like a crappier daily that I can park outside. And then the second garage spot to be taken by something in the like $25,000 range, which is
shrinking every day.
Yeah, which is turning into
which
like
you get less and less each day.
240 SX.
And this, inflation.
Somewhere around there. But you know, the kind of like the like nice but not like bring a trailer.
Yeah, I'm looking for something more like in the 10.
Yeah.
Like
well, I mean, there's different categories. Yeah. There's like the 5 to 10.
There's like the Miata or the Z06.
Yeah. It's like they kind of go up. And so I'm looking for that like 20 to 30 range, which is like C5 Z06. Or I hate to say it, but John has kind of convinced me of like STI would also be fun. Yeah. Especially like a 05. I really like that kind of earlier look.
The blob eye.
Yeah, it despite all the all the things that come
all the
riff
raff.
Yeah,
all the baggage.
It's just like at the end of the day, those things drive like a pickup truck that's lowered with a bunch of turbo. Like they're just fun, they're just fun.
I mean, the Evo is equally as fun.
Same thing.
But it's just like they're so rare and way
but I mean they're in that range too.
Yeah.
So Evo, STI, C5Z, maybe E92 M3 is a little bit more, but like something like that, kind of in that range. And it needs to be a complement to a car that is sort of retiring into garage queen. And so it needs to be something that I can kind of beat up a little bit, like not crazy, but like not be like, no, I'm not going to track it.
I'm not going to take this out.
I'm not taking this out. It's only partly cloudy and not fully cloudy.
The sun might hit it.
Yeah, I don't want the sunbeams to touch it. So it's like that's part of it. Maybe S2000, but I feel like those are you're just paying too much of the nostalgia tax already. Like, I don't know. I kind of want something with a V8 or a lot of turbo lag. But one thing about this that has, among all of the problems with trying to find a used STI or Evo, which I will not go into, is when you try to make like a collector car out of a car that was sort of shitty and cheap to begin with, and C5 totally falls into this, even though it was an expensive car. It was basically built like a budget car, where it's like it's sort of just falling apart in your hands. Where like at least the M5, it's like, wow, these seats wear like leather, like an iron leather jacket. It's like this is high quality. And I think NSX is like that too. It's like this thing was so well made at the time that as it gets older, it's like the HVAC controls aren't falling off in my fingers, where like an STI or a C5 kind of is. You just sort of have to deal with like, boy, I hope Subaru keeps selling the like window switches.
I know,
for these.
The driver's side window switch like barely fucking works.
Yeah, it's like this was sort of built on like a rental car to begin with, and so like time is working against you. It's like this archaeological find that you have to like preserve in like a dimly lit, you know what I mean? And so it's just kind of making me think about like if you're really into keeping
kind of like that. Remember that Tech TV video from like a long fucking time ago, and
the guy shatters that thing.
that doesn't really get passed around that much.
Here, okay, we're gonna breathe a little light into that. Here's that video.
So this is a one-of-a-kind piece. There's no other one like this particular one in the world. And you can see the tracks go this way. And it's really cool because it records much more accurately than... Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
But yeah, it's just something... It's just making me think, like, if you're into owning this stuff for a long time, like I am, you know, and I think a lot of people think they are, and I think I am. Maybe I'm not. But it's like the M5. It's like I am so glad I bought it when I did, but I kind of don't ever see myself selling it unless I need. You know, if I needed to, I would. But I'd love to be able to just keep owning it forever. I like that car. I like the car. I don't really care about holding it and then selling it. And it's easy to do that with because it ages well, and there's very little plastic on it, and there's you know, the dashboard doesn't warp over time, and the like glue on the door panels isn't delaminating. And so it's kind of making me think about that with like, you start reading about these cars are hitting 20 years old.
Yeah.
And that's when the problems start to show up where it's like, yeah, the wiring kind of wasn't the best. You know, it's sort of
hit and miss.
Yeah. It's been like heat cycled and like it cracks. And like you have to replace the wiring harness. So it's really making me think that a big component to long-term value in cars, at least from my perspective, is like build quality and reliability.
Sure, yeah.
Where it's like, is this thing going to live for another 20 years?
Yeah.
Without needing to fight over the last like 50 weather strippings that exist on the planet?
Yeah.
That's kind of the problem with the R32 GTR. It's like, that's kind of a cheap, shitty car. I mean, it is an amazing car, but like, it's like those seats are like, you look at them, it's like even the cleanest one looks like someone took a dump in it.
It's greasy.
And, yeah, like the dashboard, it's like, oh yeah, they sort of just crack down the middle.
Then you can't find them.
Like they don't exist. And if you can, it's like $1,600.
You can hire an artist.
Yeah, you can fill the crack. And so you just have to kind of deal with like, this thing's gonna sort of fall apart like dust a little bit. But the drivetrain is phenomenal. The STI kind of reminds me of that. That's basically as close as we got to a GTR here. But even shittier a little bit. Like even
for sure.
The build quality, it's like, this is budget Subaru.
They're just churning them out.
This isn't even like high-end Subaru. So anyways, I've been thinking about that. But speaking of STIs, John
stays up to date.
John's a little bit plugged in.
I'm part of like
he's part of the community.
Many fake Subaru communities. And so every once in a while I'll share a little post or classified ad I see on social media with the guys. And so here's one from a couple days ago. A guy is selling his 2007 Subaru STI, which is the same year that I have.
It's a good year.
He has about 138,000 miles on it, which is about the same as my body. But he had the engine replaced about 4,000 miles ago.
Okay, pretty close.
Okay, new engine.
Yeah, new engine.
How common is that with a stock motor? I've heard even stock.
Just let it go.
It's pretty hit or miss. I mean, obviously look at my car. Like,
yeah.
You know, I mean, I was abusing it and not driving.
Yeah, but yours is very modified.
That's true. Yeah. But I mean, again,
I feel like
when you're dealing with the Subaru community, it's hard to find one that's not modified.
People are basically just like, kind of budget for a rebuild.
Yeah.
It's just sort of like part of ownership as you rebuild the motor.
So less than 4,000 miles on the new motor.
Okay.
He put in. And so he is selling it because he has a 2019 WRX, and so he doesn't really drive this STI anymore. Clean title.
Moving on.
Only issue, just a little misfire on cylinder number 4.
Misfire on cylinder 4, which magically he doesn't feel like fixing.
Yeah.
It's a minor issue.
He specifically says he doesn't want to bother fixing it because
I don't want to bother.
His girlfri's pregnant. He just needs to get rid of it.
I just don't want it. It's like when people say, I can't even be bothered to tie my shoes. I just can't bother. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Misfire on cylinder 4 that I just can't be bothered. Which
I can't go buy a coil pack. Or
I'm sure it's really small issue.
Yeah, which which is kind of what he's hinting at, where it's like, this is just like a plug wire.
Spark plug, coil pack.
This is just a little misfire.
Yeah, nothing.
Just a little.
Nothing big.
Yeah, which
I just spent like $5,000 on a new motor, but I'm not going to fix this.
I'm not going to. Yeah, the shop apparently doesn't want to take.
I'm sure. Yeah, the authorized retailer.
The warranty. Yeah. And so, I mean, that part is, suspicious in itself. Buyer beware. But the part that gets me is in the description or the title, I think description, where he says all stock. And he kind of like, isn't it in caps?
Yeah, sorry, he does say, right here. I'm finally ready to sell my stock, all capitals.
Okay.
2007 STI.
Stock in capitals. Yes. Which at first you're supposed to go, oh, this hasn't been
great.
Yeah.
This hasn't been abused. Stock.
Right.
Yeah. Stock car. Which made me made me think and kind of giggle about the difference between saying stock.
It should also be said that like people's definition of stock is very loose.
It's just a shift knob and an exhaust.
Yeah, like I've seen plenty of Hondas for sale, and it's like I'm selling my all stock GSR, like has a skunk 2 intake.
Yeah, only intake and exhaust.
Yeah, like only intake and exhaust.
The motor is all stock.
Has the manifold and a header.
Yeah, the motor itself.
The ECU has been chipped.
Yeah, I didn't
like the motor is stopped.
I didn't do any of the expensive mods, just the cheap bolt-on.
Yeah, basically means I did not disconnect the head from the block.
Yeah,
it apparently counts as all stock.
Yeah, people get very liberal.
Yeah, it's pretty loose. And so, that's exactly, it was making me think the difference between saying stock and never modified, which is the magic combination of words that is somehow missing from every one of these, is stock. It's stock, which means I finally sold all of the mods.
Yeah.
I put everything back 10 years ago, and I kept all the parts, and the intake's like dusty and has fingerprints all over it. You know that look of just like
put it back on.
Yeah, it's like a stock exhaust manifold with no heat shield and a bunch of like never sees and shit.
Or just like,
you know what I'm talking about?
The plastic looks a little bit brighter than all the other plastic.
It's like all stock, as if that's a selling point. Because at this point, it's a detractor.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't give a shit that it's stock. I give a shit that you never touched it.
Right. Yeah.
Not that you put your piece of shit stock parts back on. That have been just sitting in the shop
box
bench.
Yeah,
for 10 years. All stock. Like, thanks. Now the bolts have been touched twice. Now they've been tightened by you. You've been in there twice minimum. All stock. Yeah. This is like rusty stock manifold. You've used non-OEM gaskets to put all this shit together. All stock with a misfire.
Stock. Just a little misfire.
Yeah, it's like, that is not a plus. That's not a selling point. Well, you can't find these stuff.
No, never.
It's like, no, that's not what they mean.
Honestly, like, is there a bigger self-owned for like a car community than they just ruin their own cars?
What do you mean? Just
like, if you think of like Subarus or like any other of these car communities, where it's like there's this whole like group around that's like modifying them and tuning them and fixing them up, and then like and then everybody wants the cars that they don't touch.
Yeah, like the ultimate. It's funny too, because it's, in some ways you'd be like, well, yeah, you want the blank slate. You know, it's like you want to like put your own custom twist on it. It's like, no, it's because you fucking don't know how to modify a car. As soon as it's modified, it's like
you've eliminated them from the gene pool.
Yeah, you've shifted your money from maintaining it in its stock form to deferring maintenance and putting it all into mods. I mean, a modified car, like, by definition, for it to be worth more than stock, you have to be losing so much money on it. It has to be like, these things go for 35 stock, but this one's 45 modified. It's like, that better be a fucking,
it has like
100 grand build that you're just losing your ass on. Otherwise, it's like, I don't want your shitty mods. I don't want your worse than.
There seems to be, like, as far as I know, there's 2 vehicles that like mods may actually add value.
Sure.
And I think it's 510s
Okay, yeah.
Now Z is probably not as much, but especially 510.
I will say recently it's the 4x4 crowd.
Yeah, that was the other one.
Yeah. Because it's like, look, I just want the look.
Like if you see like a 4Runner or like a GX 470 that has some like
it's like raised with some like mud tires.
Some like method wheels and some all terrains.
People are like, yeah. It's like they're so and it's just kind of a sad like flashlight onto the audience of who's buying them, that they'd pay a premium for these like
stuff that you can just do yourself.
It's like wow, this 4Runner sat on someone's side yard for 10 years. And the dash is like sunburned, and then they like lifted it with some like old man emu springs and put some like Jegs wheels on it, and you're paying like a 50% markup because you're dumb as fuck and like buying into the hype. I mean, it's fine. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I can't think of any other like mods will actually.
Well, it seems to be these cars that hit like a hype rocket, like Porsche, anything where it's like, I heard these are hot,
these are really good,
these are good, and I'm looking to buy, and someone goes, I'm an expert,
I know,
I have a modifier,
I've already done what you should do.
Here's the ask around, these are the mods you want to do, and they're like,
you see a lot of that too, like even in these Subaru groups, like people buy like a new WRX or like a year or two old, but like from a dealership, like so it was like a lease. And so it probably wasn't even modified. And like they'll like just picked up my WRX last week, looking to do some tasteful mods. What do you guys recommend?
I really get off on, I mean, it's truly entertaining because it's not you and you get to watch, but someone who's just like, I just bought a car on debt.
Yeah,
I just financed a car, and I'm looking to run up some more additional debt. I'm looking to do a build.
Yeah, and I need this car to get around for work.
Yeah.
Build thread. And it's just like laying out what they're going to do. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's kind of like it's not a healthy hit of like dopamine, but there's something fun about spending money on a car. I mean, just it's like buying clothes for dudes, and women do it too, whatever. I'm not being sexist, but it's just like, it's the same kind of hit where it's like, I got a bunch of shit coming in the mail. And like, it's, wheels.
Just check me out.
It's like every time I see a build thread, that's what I think, where it's like every fucking like carbon like component that Veilside makes in the mail. Seats, it's a brand new car, but I got like Sparkos. Like I'm pulling the like nice
6
seats
airbags.
out of it.
With airbags and everything.
Yeah, and it's like a 2019.
So now I'll have a check-in, or not a check-in.
The airbag SRS light.
Just nothing.
And it's just like carbon lip lowered on BBS. It's like, God, this is like 15 grand worth of mods. And then it's like, here's the photo shoot. It's like the same photos at the industrial park beneath graffiti and like some trains and like a few like driving shots and stuff. And then everyone being like, clean.
It's like parting out my bill.
And then like a month later, parting out.
Yeah.
No lowballers.
I know what I got. I barely use these for 3,000 miles.
These are high-end mods.
Basically brand new.
And now the bill is due.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say I was definitely like that when I was 18 to 21.
That's like half the fun of a project car is just
But it's not, I mean, is it a project car when it's your fucking daily drive?
Shit rolling it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's the hook. That's the hook that gets you right in your goiters. Yeah. So anyways, project cars, what up? Okay. Moving on.
All right. So as I said previously, I've taken 2 trips down to LA in the past couple weeks to Disneyland and stuff like that.
Oh, were you?
And just, I'm sure I've noticed this in the past, but like just driving that route, back to back so frequently.
What is it? 99?
Just 99 to 5 to whatever. But like it's never. Every time I drive it, I always see at least one abandoned vehicle just on the side of the highway or the freeway.
You mean like on the shoulder?
Either on the shoulder or like even like a little bit off of the shoulder.
So I've been seeing a lot of the like encampments or whatever, where it's like not like next to the freeway, but maybe like an eighth of them, a 100 yards.
No, this is just like it's like a barren field. Like there's no tents or homeless.
How abandoned are we talking?
It's just like a vehicle that's like left on the side of the road, and you can tell it's been there a while because like it's just covered in dust and
it's just sort of
dirt and like cobwebs.
Not someone's living in it.
someone just like dumped it. Stuff
they're
like
just
that.
done.
Yeah,
they've had enough.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't know how common that is in like
the
other
weird
states.
thing to me that I've seen with those is they're usually not that shitty.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like
they're
sometimes,
they're like it'll just be sort of like.
It'll be like a Cavalier.
Yeah, or like a like Oldsmobile Alera or whatever. It's like, oh, that's like a car.
Yeah.
That's like, it's not like, wow, that Civic has like no rims and
right. That's what I mean. Like they're
like
always
burned.
they're always usually intact, and like I don't know. Like my first instinct was like, oh, maybe someone stole it and then just dumped it.
They dumped it there. I feel
but
like that's.
I
not
never
where you would dump
think that's
it.
the case because like the one that I saw on the way back from Disneyland last was like a. I don't know the years, but it was a Toyota pickup truck, but like, like an 80s, 90s ones when it was just called the Toyota pickup truck. And so it's like, I don't think that's a big car to steal, but it was abandoned on the side of the road. And I could tell originally I thought like the drive axle, the drive line
Something was hanging.
was just dropped down.
Something in its
Like it
guts.
was just dropped. And it's just like, oh shit. Like, so the drive line just snapped.
Sure.
And you were just like, fuck it. I'm just leaving this car. Like I have no interest to try to fix this thing.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's probably the reality is just something breaks.
And you're just like,
And it's just like
cheaper to just not
yeah, it's just like
because
I can't even
because getting it
tow
out like that's an expense.
that's like $100.
yeah to have it towed. Yeah, because like I said,
wherever,
it was kind of it's on that stretch of 99. If people aren't familiar with California, where it's like it's not completely empty like
But
the
it's like
fucking
pretty
like Death Valley, but
destitute.
like there's only a town every like 40 to 50 miles.
It's not,
and it's not even a major town.
It's
at
not
that point.
bumping.
Yeah.
And so I mean, that's probably the sad reality. It's just like, oh, I can't even.
I'm not gonna fix this.
It just stops, and the best you can do is
I don't
get
need this anymore.
Well, no, I don't think it's that. It's just like you get a ride, and then it's like, how are we gonna? You've got. I mean, how long do you think you have before the state tows it? Like
That's what I mean.
under
like,
a week.
Like obviously, it's not a priority for like.
Well, no, I mean it's
CHP.
just like, oh well, sure, but I mean I'm sure they get to it eventually,
Right.
And so
I don't think they do.
you think so?
I think they just
think
They just let nature take its course.
There's a good chance like the tags are fucking expired. They're like,
Yeah, I mean,
it's probably like it's kind of like me and Chipotle. That's kind of like whatever happened. It's like the final straw.
Yeah, it's just
of like them and their like I'm not fucking like I'm
that's
done
I'm
with
just
this.
done. Yeah, it's like it was just like, okay, this is my vehicle because I have it, and then it breaks, and it's like I can't. I'm sorry, dude.
I can't. Yeah.
I'm just walking away from you. You just sort of leave
Done me
it.
wrong.
Yeah, you did your course.
Yeah, it's like when you're hiking and you have like a stick you're like hiking with, and then you sort of drop it somewhere. It's like,
It's time. Or like when your pet gets like injured, you just take it out back. I've got my enjoyment out of you. Time to put you down.
or like the like mixed salad greens you buy, and they just sort of get old in the fridge.
Well, yeah.
it's like I'm done. I guess I'm done with these now.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the drive shaft that was just like broken and hanging. But as we like
But
kept
that's
driving,
a pretty cheap thing if that's all it was.
that's what I mean. Like you could.
Well, but you, I mean, basically, as soon as it stops running, the clock starts ticking, and so you got to source a drive
They probably
shaft.
do not have AAA.
Yeah, you got to either tow it, get something together to tow it, which is probably an expense you're not down for if you're just paying a company, which is like probably $100. Let's call maybe cheaper, but. Or you've got a friend with a trailer, maybe,
Right.
but he can't get his trailer to, it's like
You're
the
not in the middle of
the
nowhere.
clock is on, or do you fix it on the side of the road? I mean, either way, it's not a good situation. It's probably a sad story. Every one of those cars.
That's what I mean. Like I just want to hear. I just want to hear that backstory.
Yeah, you want to like hang out until someone.
Actually, you
shows
probably
up.
don't want.
I mean,
Yeah.
it sparks my curiosity.
Best
Well, you
case-
get like a ticket for that too, right? Like,
That's what I mean.
Sure,
Like
if
you would
it's
think
even
it would be a ticket or like you would just keep getting fees if they do impound it and stuff like that. But I mean, whatever. Who even knows? But
Best least depressing case scenario is it's stolen and they're just walking away. That's like the happiest ending.
smooth.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he didn't need it. It's like worst case scenario is like he tried to get his shit together to go tow it and he couldn't, and then like $600 tow bill shows up in the mail because the registration was traced back to him. Yeah, it's rough. It's a rough world out there. Okay. Here's something I was thinking about. Hyundai and Kia.
He's been thinking about this for a while.
Yeah, it's been brewing because I saw
ever since the last Telluride.
Yeah,
conversation.
Telluride, and
well, we recently had this discussion about Jaguar and Aston Martin.
Yeah,
even though those are different
in
companies.
the spirit of Jaguar, a Jag.
Even though those are actually different.
Those are
brands.
we think
we never really got.
Yeah, we didn't look into it. We didn't nail down the facts on that one, but we're pretty sure they're different companies with different owners and different staff working at them.
Maybe
they're separate factories. We think we're pretty sure they're different companies.
The designers are probably the same.
We're not sure where the overlap is. Possibly none. But Jaguar and Aston Martin, we were like, do we really need both of them? Like, can't we just like merge them into like Euro Motors? British Motor
Union
Works.
Jack Motors.
yeah. And then I was kind of thinking about that about Kia and Hyundai. It's like, do we really need them both? No. Like, do we? And what is the difference? I'll preface this by saying I didn't look it up. So
I honestly don't know.
I think
they're just two different brands. They were separate, and then they just bought the other one, right?
They were totally separate, right?
Yeah. No, I think they've always been the same.
Have they been?
Always?
Actually, I don't know for sure.
I thought they were separate, and then like Hyundai bought Kia
like 10 years ago.
Because Hyundai is a huge company.
Well, they make like steel, and
even
stuff.
Before the cars. Don't they make like ships?
Yeah, well, they're like they do steel.
They make like factories or something. It's a big company.
Kia declared bankruptcy in 1997, and in 1998 reached an agreement with Hyundai Motor Company.
But they're both Korean, right?
Yes.
They're both originally.
South Korea.
Okay.
So essentially, Kia in the modern era has been owned by Hyundai.
Yeah.
Yes.
So ever since their comeback.
There may have been a few years where they were in the U.S. and independent, but not very many.
And like, ask any enthusiast, the pre-Hyundai Kia.
It says that the first Kia branded vehicles in the U.S. were sold in Oregon in 1992.
So they had like 2 or 3 years of independence.
If you can find them.
Those are the ones to get. Before they got diluted.
Before they feel corporate. Before they just feel like homogenous. Those ones just sing in your hands. That first Optima... It's no fucking joke, people. That 1.2 overhead valve.
When you really lay into it.
When you downshift from third to second, that baby screams. Those engineers were gearheads. Anyways, it's like, why are they both still like can't you just combine their brand equity into Hyundai? I feel like Hyundai should probably consume Kia, right? I don't know. This is about.
I would say yes.
It's weird. Like you would have thought that like they would have just done like the normal one and then the luxury one, like how all the other ones. But then Hyundai spinned off Genesis as their luxury line.
I think Hyundai's supposed to be a little bit nicer. I thought
Kia was nicer.
Is it? I think
because Kia has the what's the Stinger.
Oh, you're right.
The
I thought Hyundai was the Stinger.
No,
I think the Hyundai SUV.
No, Kia used to have like the shittiest one. Well,
does Hyundai make a Stinger? Do they make like their own?
I don't think so.
The Maverick.
No, it's probably
the Hornet.
The Genesis, whatever, might share something.
Oh, maybe
the Stinger, maybe.
I think Hyundai's the higher end one.
That's what I thought too, but I don't know.
Well. See, I don't know.
See, this is the reason why they
either need to diversify more clearly or merge. Because I don't really understand who's what. Because I'll see them on the road. Their car is actually for as generic and like personalitylessness as their cars are. When I see a Hyundai or a Kia on the road, I know it's a Hyundai or a Kia.
Yeah,
you can sort of tell ahead of time. It's like, here comes those. Here comes a
Kona.
Yeah, the big two. It's like, here they come. But I don't know which one's which. I can't be like, that's a Kia or that's a Hyundai. But I can tell it's one of the twins.
Yeah.
So I just feel like they should just kind of get behind Hyundai.
Guess it's probably similar to like Chevy and GMC. And then there's like Cadillac, which is like the nicer one.
Yeah, Buick.
But then like Chevy and GMC are kind of the same level of quality, I would say.
Yeah, I don't really know why GMC is still around.
Isn't GMC supposed to be like, I feel like it's like Cadillac, but without, it's like stealth Cadillac kind of.
Maybe that's what Hyundai is supposed to be.
Yeah, Hyundai's like stealth
Genesis. Yeah.
Stealth Genesis.
You don't want to flaunt your money.
Yeah, you don't want to show off.
You don't
want to show off to the neighbors too much.
Yeah, if you're like a manager, but you don't want to let people know how good the business is doing, that's when you do a
Kia or a Hyundai.
Whatever the stealth one is. Okay, well.
I can't find it right now, but I think when we had this discussion last time, someone commented something about how we didn't talk about Bentley and Rolls-Royce.
Oh, that's right. One is
I can't even begin.
One, I think Bentley is.
Aren't they both British?
No, they're both German now. They're all German.
Oh, okay. But yeah, they started.
They originally, yeah. But
just like Mini.
I think Bentley was bought by
VW.
Volkswagen, and I think Rolls-Royce was bought by BMW.
Okay.
And then there's a third one. What was the third one? Oh, Bugatti. Wait, but Bugatti is also VW.
Yeah.
One of them's Mercedes. Oh, Maybach.
Oh,
Maybach, whatever.
Yeah.
That's Mercedes.
Okay.
So Mercedes, VW, and BMW all bought the like French, whatever, UK ultra luxury. And I think Rolls-Royce
is part of BMW.
Yeah.
1998.
And so now they're just like hyper 7 Series / S-Class / whatever Volkswagen makes.
Yeah, imagine if you told some British guy like in the 40s.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, hey, mate, like, did you know that Rolls-Royce is going to be owned by BMW? They would have think like, oh, fuck, we lost the war.
Yeah,
it's
very Australian.
That sounds real British.
No, they say mate too.
Yeah, but your accent is very Australian.
You what, mate? You
throw
what?
down the ship on the bobby, mate.
Jog on. They got bought by BMW.
Yeah. Sweet.
What?
What is that North FC?
Oh, yeah. me drive a Rolls Royce. Okay. And finally, was this supposed to be on here? Ship in a bottle.
You put the
Ship models in a bottle.
Ship in a bottle. Mm-hmm. What is the appeal there?
I think you've answered your own question with the question.
Is anybody into ship in a bottle?
I've only ever seen them in movies
as a joke.
Either
it's never serious.
Like at all. Like either someone actually doing it, like building the model in the ship, or just like someone has their desk and on display.
Yeah,
they
is
have
this
a ship
real hobby?
Yeah,
or is it only?
I've never seen one in person.
Is this a Hollywood trope? Is this just a long-running Hollywood joke that no one actually built? Because I think you build it in the bottle.
You would have to.
Mm-hmm.
With like tweezers.
No, I don't know.
Unless it's like some type of magician act thing.
I think they
Oh, they can like raise the sails.
I think so.
Oh.
I think you.
I see what you're saying.
I think you
set sail.
I think you maybe.
You're really breaking the illusion
push
for
it
me.
through the orifice. I think,
and then they raise the sails.
I think, but then I think there's some final assembly in the bottle with like long.
I could not do that.
Long tools.
I just don't. Yeah, I don't know.
I guess it probably has the same appeal as like watch repair. Just really small mechanisms.
Okay, you're kind of sure.
Maybe.
I have a friend who's really into watches.
Like they have the glasses with the glasses on top of the glasses.
Yeah, the multiple glasses.
Yeah.
Watches make sense to me. I'm not into them.
I know, I get it. Yeah,
but they make sense to me because it's like, here is like
a mechanism.
Tiny little machines.
Little gears, yeah.
Doing stuff. It's keeping time purely with machinery and precision. And so maybe ship in a bottle is that?
Maybe I don't know how they're actually built. Like maybe it's like really
it's like
dumb.
That plus model building.
Yeah.
It's like precision. Okay. So if anybody out there is either into ship in a bottle or knows somebody,
all of our viewers,
or has witnessed somebody in real life building a ship in a bottle.
Tell us what the appeal is.
Why isn't the appeal like like I said, the appeal is like what we just talked about. Like
the magic of it.
Yeah, like as soon as you see one, you ask a bunch of fucking questions.
Where you're like, how did you get the ship in the
like,
bottle?
what is the point of that?
It's like a basic version.
How'd you do that?
Right. I think that's what the
it's like
appeal.
A card trick, but on a different level.
Sort of.
How'd that ship get in there?
Why would you have something?
Why would you do this? I feel like the coolest one with that, the absolute coolest one was the first one. Mm-hmm. That probably like blew
the guy who invented it.
The very first one was like,
and unveiled it.
How did you do that?
Yeah.
And then everyone since then has been slightly less majestic.
Yeah.
That's my guess. Anyways, if anybody knows, we're very curious about any of these topics. C4s,
Hyundai,
Kias. We want it all, people. Mm-hmm. We want to know.
Drop a comment below.
Drop a comment.
We'll read it, but we won't talk back.
We will read it. Okay. Well, thank you for hanging on through these rapids. We've arrived at the end. Arrived at the calm water at the end of the waterfall. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for being here. A special thank you / hello to our patrons. Sup. You guys are the lubricant that makes this machine.
And if you do want to see that video we talked about, go on there and give it a look.
Yeah, check it out.
And there's probably going to be some, as we talked about in the aforementioned bonus episode.
There's some changes coming.
There's probably going to be some restructuring. And it will, we're not sure what it's going to be, but it should result in more content more often, I think.
Better, we think. Yeah. That's our hope, but we'll see. Assuming
you'll be kept in the loop.
Yeah, you will benefit from it.
And real fast, I just want to throw this in there because I listened to another podcast and they did this, so I want to do it. I want people to write in and let us know what they're doing right now while they're listening to us. And I just want to see if there's anything interesting. Because one podcast I listened to, the guy worked at an aquarium. And he was like, I'm feeding sharks right now.
Well, especially with like longer form stuff, you're usually just like, all right,
just
I got to zone out
exactly,
while I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I think my favorite one someone did say was de-icing an airplane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I do remember
something
that.
Like lots of people's lives.
I'm just assembling the fuselage. Just welding. Yeah, but we've never explicitly asked. So anybody out there?
For me, there's like certain things where I can like do for hours while I listen, and the other things that I just cannot do.
Cannot. Same. Yeah, like washing dishes or cooking or something.
Driving.
I can totally do driving. Yeah, certain things. Okay, well, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for being here. We do appreciate it, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
See you.